I was cleaning up and thinking about how the Father's sovereign. So, rain. So, our musical notes, melody. I've been trying to brush up a little bit on that. I used to play the flute and piccolo a long time ago. And understanding music was necessary for that. I was going through the creek, cleaning it up, all the dead branches and, even trees that are rotting out and just not good anymore. They've had their time. And I've noticed a lot of the trees falling. But then again, it does allow new growth to occur. When the trees fall, the carbon goes back into the ground and enriches the ground for new life. Those who have fell before us have brought us where we're at today of building God's kingdom. I hear people and they want to say, oh, man's doing it, they're doing this and they're doing that. You know what? Even if they are, it's being ordained. So it's being allowed by the Father. Whether the Father does it, which there's no evil or bad in him, only good, but he allows it. And it ultimately is to their own destruction, not God's people. It's walking by faith when everybody else is falling apart. It's always the darkest right before the light day breaks. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. And the Father being here heightens that vibration, makes everything shake and move to create new land and new earth, both here physically, but also within us, because we're from the dust of the earth. Well, I do believe the Father is cleaning house. But this time, the cleaning isn't going to be allowed to be his people. They've set their own trap. And they don't even see it. So when you set your own trap, this was covered. I've been working on clearing this out. It used to be an old fence that fell. But when you clean it out, it doesn't back up the water. So the waters can flow. Well, when it's all cleaned out at once of what's not of his, shoo. I don't know about you, but I've been to where somebody has, I'm seeing if I was a geo now. I was almost in an accident. And this has actually happened several times. But it didn't happen. God's sovereign. He allowed The other car, people aren't even going to believe it, but I'm going to speak it. Maybe somebody else has been there, done that. The little baby in here. But the cars went invisible and passed through each other. And then they were back to normal. I've also want to declare how mighty the Father is. There's some yucky, sticky stuff there. It feels like quicksand when you stand there. But I was going down 75, coming down through some of the mountain areas, and it was raining. And it's an area that's pretty much well known for bad wrecks, bad accidents that people typically die in. Well, there was an Explorer that was driving not for the conditions, no due regard, and I saw him coming up beside me, and I just kind of moved over a little bit, let him go on his own way, because I don't want to be a part of that if something bad happened. Well, he lost control of the curve. He was in front of me. And it was wet roads, so there's stopping time is a lot longer. This is back when I was driving my grandmother's Camry. And he spun out in front of me. And the next thing I know, he's going like a ping pong ball back and forth. And then all of a sudden, everything slowed down. Now, when he was doing this, I was like, all right, I can't slam on my brakes. I knew I wasn't going to be able to pass him. It wasn't going to happen. So what I did was I got on the rumble strip. And then I remembered there was a car behind me tailgating. And when I looked up right before to hit my brakes on that rumble strip, looked in the rearview mirror, and the car wasn't there. I hit the brakes, and as everything's slow motion, as you like to say, I saw the Explorer coming right at my door. Well, once I got stopped, and that's actually when I looked in the rearview mirror at that point, because I was like, oh no. I knew he was going to hit me. And everything slowed down to where I could get the car in reverse, because the car that was behind me was there no more and moved out of the way. And God the Father is my witness. He went directly in front of the Camry. And when I got out and I looked, because I don't remember being hit, but it brushed the dirt off the front of the bumper and it didn't hit me. He got out dazed and confused. It jostled him up. I'd say he rung his bell pretty good, but don't tell me God can't protect you no matter what. I'm telling you, I've seen too much. Y'all are going to have to walk by faith. A lot of you have probably seen his divine interventions, but you just haven't seen it yet. It's like hearing, but you don't hear. The Father's faithful and true, and he will do as he promises. There is no mistake. He watches after us, even when the enemy is right next to you. Walking by faith is knowing that there is a line drawn that cannot be passed. standing as a witness, as a testimony of how good the Father is and how sovereign He is. Because even though we could destroy them, we don't. Vengeance belongeth to the Father.